here, Eric. I think it's possible that President Trump may take a look at some of the bad actors and say, we're not immunizing you. You're going to have to defend yourself for your actions. Comey or Bannon or someone downstream from them who was in the deep of the weaponization. That could be a big moment. President Trump saying, I'm not going to extend the immunity because we think you acted in bad faith.
So they have, John, I didn't know this. They have immunity right now. I only have 30 seconds left. They have immunity right now from prosecution.
Almost all government officials have, just like cops. They have the assumption of immunity from the government. It's hard to sue the U.S. government. But if the government admits that what you did was wrong, then you're on your own. And I think Donald Trump could wave a magic pen around and put a lot of deep state bureaucrats cowering in their boots with that sort of declaration.
We'd love to see some of that. John Solomon, great reporting, folks. Always great.
Thanks,
breaking news stuff with John. We get him on. Thank you for coming on and sharing that with my audience. Don't forget, Just the News, 6 o'clock Eastern on Rev. Keep it there all the time. Thank you, John. All right, folks. War Room coming up next. See you tomorrow.
Bless America. Sea Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Perú, Ecuador, Brasil, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Panamá, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, México, Cuba, República Dominicana, Jamaica, Haití, las Antillas, United States, Canadá, and my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí. Ahora sí. De cuando te tuve, debí darte más besos y abrazos. Ojalá. Muchas gracias. Debí tirar más fuerte.
There's a book that's sitting in your house somewhere that could use some dusting off. There's a man who died for all our sins, hanging from the cross. You can give your life to Jesus, and he'll give you a second chance till you can't take it. If you got a chance, chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. If you're gonna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, until you can, until you can. If you got a chance, take it while you got a chance. If you got a dream, chase it, 'cause a dream won't chase you back. If you wanna love somebody, hold them as long and as strong and as close as you can, until you can, until you can, until you can.
Como Bocón iba a salir del pop, con reggaetón y dembow.
It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. The directions the fingers point when everything goes up in flames. Saying I'm some right-wing devil, 'cause I was down south Jesus raised. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. I just wanna cut my grass, watch my game, say my prayers, not get a picture of a flag up in flames while people cheer. Oh, the same one my granddaddy fought for, stomped on like it's trash. And I'm a downright hateful monster, back to blue and bash. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. The direction the fingers point, this red letter Jesus raised. It ain't easy being country in this country, because I have my morals and a small town point of view. You assume that you don't like me means that I don't like you too. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays. In this country nowadays.
Jesus and lift up his faith and be loud and proud about that. But really, there was no agenda. It was just good music for Americans, for people that wanted to feel proud about their country, wanted to love their country, love their God, and love some great music. So, and that was in contrast to the other guys. That was on full display tonight, Brian.
And you notice, so if you had Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett all performing tonight. But you mentioned that you went back and looked at Charlie Kirk's tweets, and you noticed that he was always commenting on the halftime show. He's like, why can't they be a little bit more red, white, and blue? Why can't it be a little bit more pro-American when the whole world is watching? And that's what kind of motivated you guys to do something.
Yeah, he was always fixated on this event, this halftime institution. He wanted it to lift up the best ideals of our country as opposed to pulling us down or being, kind of the lowest common denominator. He wanted it to lift us higher. He wanted it to be about our highest ideals. And, because of the success that it's blown our minds tonight, Brian. So we are going to commit to doing this again next year. We're going to do another halftime show for the country next year. So I'm breaking a little news here, Brian. 20 million at very minimum. I think that number is going to go higher, 40, maybe even 50 in the next 24 hours. So I can tell you that's a shot across the bow. People are paying attention. And, if you give us a year to plan this thing, I'm really excited to see what we can pull off. But we got to do it for the country. And this was a massive success, and we were grateful to do it.
And the Make Heaven Crowded tour gets started for 2026. And that's going to be fantastic, too. And, of course, the president's going to be counting on you guys to get the vote out with Turning Point action. So there's a lot of focus on Turning Point.
We're busy.
And you're a great spokesman for it. And the number, one more time, how many people watched as of right now?
Well, what we can say without a doubt, we over 20 million people, 20 million views on social, but that's not broadcast. That's not any of our OTT fast channels. So we don't know what that number is going to be. It could rise as high as 40 or 50 million. We're going to find out that final number tomorrow, but at least 20 million, which we can, you can't even debate.
This is the primal scream of a dying regime. Pray for our enemies, because we're going medieval on these people. You're just not got a free shot on all these networks lying about the people. The people have had a belly full of it. I know you don't like hearing that. I know you try to do everything in the world to stop that, but you're not going to stop it. It's going to happen.
And where do people like that go to share the big lie? MAGA media. I wish in my soul, that any of these people had a conscience.
Ask yourself, what is my task and what is my purpose? If that answer is to save my country, this country will be saved.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
It's Monday, 9 February in the year of our Lord 2026. A seminal moment, I think, not just culturally, but politically also in this country of the Super Bowl last night. We had Morning Joe. We played the clips. My fabulous production team and the guys, the Rev guys in Denver, put together a cold open today. And of so many cold opens they did, I thought it was really extraordinary. Morning Joe is talking to you directly about how the NFL is the most powerful institution in the country, and the NFL has decided that the MAGA right doesn't understand America and not really Americans, and Bad Bunny and all this crap you saw last night, which was just a horrific show. That's the future, and you just got to get used to it, and MAGA right doesn't count. Well, I got to tell you, the numbers put together by Turning Point, Real America's Voice, and others. Andrew Colvett just told me from this morning, talking about, I don't know, 20 to 25, or I guess that was from last night. He was over at Fox with Brian Kilmeade. Or it might have been this morning. 20 to 25 million. Now they're saying it's going to be a minimum of 40 to 50 million when they get all their different distribution partners and all the different types of streaming you could have. 40, 50 million, and that's individual streams. That's not like 20 people sitting in a room. Real America's Voice, I think right now we're bringing in Mark Serrano, and Mark is with us. He's a pollster. He's also does a lot of marketing for the channel. Mark, and you've got a long experience in television. I think that we're at 7 now, but Rob and Parker have talked to Andrew, and I think we're looking at 9 or 10 million before it's over. And this, folks, you should know, Real America's Voice helped produce this. They did the pregame. They did the pre-halftime with Jack Posobiec, Mark Serrano, David Zier, and others, and helped put together the entire program. This was done basically from the holidays to today, was the NFL gets a chance to think this through for over a year. And when Andrew Colvett says, hey, we're going to do it again and do it next year, trust me, given the Turning Point, the way they run events, you can tell, like they do the Turning Point event in Phoenix every year, and of course the Student Action Summit in Florida every year. It's going to be something special. Before I bring in Mark, I might want to add, when Andrew's there with Kilmeade and he says, hey, Charlie always wanted to do this. For everybody out there in the audience talks about using their agency and you know, having to sometimes look like we've got to move mountains. And as I told you, many days it's a cloudy day, and how are we going to get through this? Other days it's, you know, unlimited blue sky, but you got to get through those cloudy days, those close-in days. You just got to power through it. Charlie Kirk, what Andrew said when they were looking back at stuff, Charlie Kirk put out a tweet, I think in 2014, that this must have been the Janet Jackson. They said something about, he just said clothing, I guess clothing is optional. He had one like. And last night, the organization that he built and the relationships he had, the distribution and production relationships that were part of his family, last night delivered 40 to 50 million. And Mark, as you know, Mark Serrano joins us. The advertisers will take notice. That was a revolt last night of MAGA. Joe Scarborough calls it the MAGA right. Well, I don't know if it's the MAGA right or if it's the silent majority, but the majority of people put President Trump in office. And of course, you know, some people in that coalition are a little bit in the mumble tank about some of the activities. But we are determined to hold the House and hold the Senate, and maybe even pick up a seat or two in the House, maybe even in the Senate. We know we got hard work in front of us, but everybody had hard work a couple of months ago, and they did this. You've been around a long time, Serrano. Have you ever seen anything like this, anything even comparable about these alternative distribution platforms coming together around Turning Point and having a number? And like Colvett told me, they still got other distribution partners coming in, but a minimum of 40 to 50 million.
Never, Steve, never. This was a thunderclap. Last night, we saw the tectonic plates of mass media shifting against each other, and the Richter scale of culture in America hit an 8.0. We have never before seen in one night, in one live event, what we saw last night. The RAV numbers alone, as of about probably 10 hours ago, Steve, 7,318,472 views across platforms, but that's hours ago. Tomorrow morning, we're going to see that number skyrocket dramatically. And Andrew had pointed out, you know, they had 10 million concurrent views, people watching live at the same time last night, at least. And those numbers are about 10 hours old. This is a massive, massive affront to the NFL the elites in the NFL was sitting there, Park Avenue offices. Those marketing people in that office, their heads are exploding today for that very reason you cite, Steve, which is the advertisers are finally taking a look at the MAGA right, they so call it. It's really the American center we're talking about, because the American center, they voted last night with their views. They rejected this toxic woke agenda from Bad Bunny and Green Day, and they tuned in to the All-American Halftime Show provided to you by Real America's Voice with an amazing pre-show and post-show led by our own Ben Berkwam and David Zier. Steve, this is a red letter day. We're going to remember this day as a milestone in mass media distribution because the elites in New York and L.A., they got it handed to them.
Mark, hang on for 1 second. We'll take a short commercial break. We're going to come back to Serrano, drill down on this a little bit more. The show is packed on a Monday afternoon. Be back in a moment.
We need help from the boss.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shopped. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Every dollar you give is being matched up to $50,000. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shopped. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again.
Every dollar you give is being matched up to $50,000. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
My name is T.J. Ash from Carvinville, Utah. Real America's Voice lets me express my conservative views without censorship or editing.
My name is Phoebe, and I live in Florida. I love Real America's Voice. They truly speak for the people, and that's what real patriotism is all about.
I'm Andy M., and I love Real America's Voice, where my voice counts and your voice counts. That is America's Voice.
America's Voice family.
Are you on Getter yet? No?
What are you waiting for?
It's free.
It's uncensored, and it's where all the biggest voices in conservative media are speaking out.
Download the Getter app right now. It's totally free. It's where I put up exclusively all of my content 24 hours a day. You want to know what Steve Bannon's thinking? Go to Getter.
That's right. You can follow all of your favorites. Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec,
and so many more.
Download the Getter app now.
Sign up for free and be part of the movement.
Jack, Santa Clara County, one of the 7 Bay Area counties, is home to 120,000 illegals, or 27% of the illegals in the Bay Area, 3 times as many as San Francisco. And this, shame on Roger Goodell and the NFL for making this a political football, no pun intended, because this is all about going after the dineros in Latin America, where you have 85 million NFL fans in Mexico and Brazil alone. That's why they had Bad Bunny. This is about placating American interest to expand international support for the NFL. And I've got tons of data here about Por la Cultura, the initiatives that celebrate the Latino outreach. You know, you have 4 times as many NFL players that are Latino since 2021, and that's great. You have 5 Latinos playing in the Super Bowl tonight. And then the top draft pick in 2026 is also a Latina as well. And I'll get into that with you if you want later. But they want a footprint in Latin America. It's like 3 times the audience of Europe for the NFL, and they're going to host more games. And I don't have any problem with that outreach. But what they're doing today about, you know, having this in Spanish, and now Bad Bunny's coming back on that, while you're in a county in America where the sheriff has called for not cooperating with ICE in Santa Clara. And shame on Goodell for making this and dividing the American people, because that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, this is also with the artist's previous issues on transgender ideology. This is, of course, to divide us. This is the NFL taking the knee once again. Did the NFL stand up at all with Copernic on? No. The American, but the same people that voted yesterday, let's flip the channel. That's all they understand is money. This is a cynical business exercise. I have no problem with them expanding into Latin America, of course, another market. But it's the way they're doing it and the way that they are in the face of the American people, particularly given the issues we have with mass deportations and the stolen 2020 election, and of course the illegal alien invasion of our country. Goodell is just a functionary, right? The NFL is just their functionaries of the owners. You have these billionaire owners and they're the ones I keep telling you do not want mass deportations. They keep saying, well, the illegal aliens add a point or 2 to the economy. You see this in the Wall Street Journal all the time. And of course, they drive wages down. This is also the same clique that wants mass legal immigration and H-1B visas. H-1B visas are a total and complete scam and have to be done away with immediately. All the individuals sent home, right? And then all those billets taken by American citizens. They've never shown ever for one of those billets where somebody had an education, had education in a certain technical field that was greater than the education another American worker had, or had unique experience. They can't show it. It's all a racket to basically suppress the wages of the American people. And that's, you just saw the cynicism of the National Football League. It's one of the reasons the NFL, although the sport of football could not be more popular today, and at the high school level and the college level, obviously the college game is on fire. The National Football League, and people have very close affinity to their teams. They hate the league. And this is a perfect example. And I'm so proud, Mark Serrano, I'm so proud of what Turning Point, of what Andrew Colvett, Tyler, the entire team over there to put this together, and the artist. The artists were very brave to do that last night. Real America's Voice, Park and Rob to do this. And the numbers are, you can't even describe it. I mean, next level, orders of magnitude greater than I thought would happen, because we just didn't have enough time to market it. But it shows you, I think, the power of Charlie Kirk, the power of Charlie Kirk's message, and the way people want to put their shoulder to the wheel here and use their agency. Mark Serrano, you said it was a red letter day. What do you think they're talking about in the NFL suites tonight, particularly in the marketing, in the cubicles over in the marketing department?
Yeah, heads exploding on Park Avenue, Steve. And you're right. It's the billionaire owners who are driving this agenda, and it's anti-American. It's anti-worker in America. They don't care about their audience, their core audience. They've turned their backs on them since 2016. They are stuck in a time warp, Steve, whereas most, 2/3 of American corporations ended their DEI policies in the past year after the revolutionary, explosive victory of Donald Trump in November of 2024. Hats off to Robbie Starbuck for his work on DEI. 2/3 of corporations have ended those DEI policies, and the NFL have doubled down. They've doubled down on those policies. They're doing it with their spending. They're doing it with their programming. And yet, look at us. Look at us now. Think about the dark days, Steve, of 2021, where we were all deplatformed, where programming was denied by all the distributors. And look at us now. Look at the pre-programmed show that Parker Sig produced and his team at RAV. This is a glorious moment. We should embrace it. We should remember it, but we should get to work and keep pushing. And look, by the way, it's not just this one event last night that RAV helped produce with their partner in Turning Point. It's also RAV Espanol, which is exploding already. That's how you reach red-blooded Americans who speak Spanish or bilingual. We reach them through RAV Espanol and Real America's Music. You had Natasha Owens in the War Room Saturday morning. Already #1 on the charts, her song "The Boss," which is a rebuke of the woke leftist agenda of Bruce Springsteen and his ilk from Hollywood and New York and LA. This is a transcendent movement. The Trump coalition is growing. It's not receding in any way, Steve. And those people who left the game last night to watch the All-American halftime show, they are the ones who we need to be engaged and to be ready to engage in this election and the midterms this year. This is all the dots are connected. This cultural revolution, this milestone moment in broadcasting history and in our culture from July 8th leads all the way up to this November to the midterms. These dots are all connected, Steve.
Amen. Mark, where do people get you? What's your social media? Where they go to find out more about you and follow you, sir?
Yes, sir. On Getter and Truth Social, at Serrano, which is spelled Serrano. And on X, it's at Mark V. Serrano.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's talk about this. We talk about this serious problem all the time. We're here in Texas. Got a great show coming over the next hour. Actually going to go from England to talk to people that have left the Muslim faith and converted to Christianity. Attorney General Paxton's going to lead off and talk about polling. Right now, got a very special guest. Let's play the cold open of Mandami, and I'll bring him in.
I think of the freedom from suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the 3 poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives. We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, "As for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world." Or as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers." If faith offers us the moral compass to stand alongside the stranger, government can provide the resources. Let us create a new expectation of City Hall, where power is wielded to love, to embrace, and to protect. We will stand with the stranger today.
Rabbi Daniel Schoenbuch joins me now. Is that calling on Islam now as a means to justify mass migration into the United States, sir?
I mean, he's quoting the story of the Hijrah. I think your listeners need to know what the Hijrah is all about. I mean, that was when Muhammad went from Mecca to Medina. And in Medina, it wasn't like a story from Christmas or Hanukkah. In Medina, he took over the city, started murdering people. That's where political Islam actually began, in the city of Medina. He actually killed 3 different Jewish tribes at that time. So you're right. That's exactly what's happening right now. And we're actually looking at bigger things. I think we're looking at a full-out jihad in New York City.
Well, how did we arrive at this spot, Rabbi? How did we arrive at a spot that 25 years after 9/11, we've elected a Ugandan Marxist jihadist, sir?
It's unbelievable. I just want to mention that he wants to get rid of something called the SRG, the Security Response Group. That was formed after 9/11, about 25 years ago, to protect the city against riots and against mass casualties. He's gotten rid of that already. So New Yorkers are not really that wise to pick a guy who's this dangerous. And all he needed to do is work with the Democratic Socialists of America, team up with the Islamists, shift the meter about 10 to 13 different points, and you could take over the city. And I think it's a message for everybody in America today. With 13% of what Mamdani did, you can take over other cities around the United States.
Oh, it's going to happen. The DSA's on a roll, let's be honest, and the Working Family Party. Rabbi, hang on for 1 second. Rabbi Daniel Schoenbuch joins me. We're going to talk more about New York City and what happened there and how it's spreading throughout the country. We're going out with the J6 Prison Choir. Anthem of the Free, another #1 hit. Real America's Music, I think, has had 3 in a row. Take your phone out, Birch Gold, text Bannon, BANNON at 989898. Get the ultimate guide for investing in gold and precious metals in the age of Trump. The choir takes you out. We'll be back in a moment.
I want to thank Donald Trump for pardoning us, and it's the only reason that we're here today, all together, free, with smiles on our faces.
Our voices ring. At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now. Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with your Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Did you ever wonder what truly happened in the COVID-19 pandemic and whether Anthony Fauci would ever be held accountable? I think we all have. Filmmaker Jenner First has an upcoming documentary that searches for truth, transparency, and accountability called Thank You, Dr. Fauci.
Governments lie.
Anthony Fauci put everyone on the planet at risk without their consent.
It's beyond suspicious.
Research caused a pandemic, killed 20 million, and cost $25 trillion. Fauci would prefer a lie.
Public trust, national health, and global security are at stake as this documentary digs through thousands of pages of documents and interviews with former officials and whistleblowers in the most controversial narrative of our time that may also be one of the largest cover-ups in modern public health history.
It was a cover-up.
Why would we trade the Chinese the most advanced biotechnology in the world?
He's a spy.
It's insane.
I don't think this is going to be foolproof. Things are going to slip through.
Fauci knew and lied repeatedly.
Rather than being a partisan hit piece, Thank You, Dr. Fauci is an honest look at the origins of COVID-19 and a potential bioarms race with China. It streams exclusively on Angel Studios app and site starting on October 23rd. And all you need to do is go to angel.com/Rav to stream it. So be ready to watch, question, and share as the quest for truth and accountability continues.
From Muskegon, Michigan. Why do you love Rav?
Because we've become family.
Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Geopolitics, markets, make sure you understand why gold is a hedge for 5,000 years of mankind's history. Birchgold.com, promo code Bannon, the end of the dollar empire. Get to Philip Patrick and the team today. Understand why gold is central to the world's financial system now. It's a new financial asset. Learn all that. Philip's on here at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. But you need to get up to speed. It's not the price of gold. It's the process that drives the value. Birchgold.com. Promo code Bannon, the end of the dollar empire. Also, if you make a qualified purchase between now and February 27th, you will get a limited edition of the Patriots version, the hard copy of the end of the dollar empire. You won't want to miss it. It'll be a something you can use and cherish. So go today. Go to Birchgold today. Rabbi, this is spreading throughout the country. The DSA and the Working Family Party feel they're on a roll. They've got a great ground game, and they're putting happy faces like Mandami. Of course, when you see him on his victory night cursing at, yelling at President Trump, you see the reality. You see reality the other day when he's lecturing us on the beauties of Islam. We're here in Texas. Sharia laws on the ballot. And folks, stick around for the next hour in War Room, Texas. You're going to hear some stories of people that have converted from Islam to Christianity, and see what you think after that. Rabbi, what should we do in New York City, sir?
Well, Steve, there's two things we need to do. One is I'm trying to build a coalition now of Hindus, African Americans, Asians, Latinos, and they're really flipping out because we're really seeing a DSA environment right now, which is really failing most New Yorkers. And the number two thing we have to do is we have to take the streets back. We have to start demonstrating. And I'm thinking when it's warming up here in the next few months or so, we have to take back the streets of New York City. That's the only way to flood the zone to stop the DSA and the Islamists from taking over New York City.
You think that's a possibility?
Oh, I think it is a possibility. We saw Brandon Straka. We saw people out there a few months ago. We got to bring more people to those demonstrations right now. And we can't be scared because there's going to be Antifa right there. There's going to be, the police are not going to support us. ICE won't be around if he gets his way, Mamdani. We have to be fearless right now because we're fighting a spiritual war of survival. If we don't go out there now, no one else will.
Rabbi, social media, where do people go, and your website, particularly if people want to sign up and join your coalition in New York? Understand, people are fighting back. They're not, the wealthy are fleeing, but the people like Rabbi Schoenbach, they're fighting back. So where do people go if they want to sign up? If they want to use their agency to sign up, where do they go?
They go to rabbiforamerica.com.
Thank you, sir. Are you on Twitter? Do you have Twitter, or is it?
I'm on X.
WhatsApp?
My handle. Yeah, my X handle is Rabbi for America.
Mm-hmm. Okay, pretty good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Great to be here, Steve.
Thank you. Got to fight back. If you're going to roll it, the billionaires are going to leave. They're going to go to Miami, but the working class and middle class are going to be there. You're stuck. So how do you fight back? MSNBC today, we've got a huge issue here. The huge issue deals around Georgia, the stolen election of 2020. Get to the bottom of it. This week, the fight to make sure that we get the Save America Act that has IDs, it has cleaned up voter rolls, it has restrictions on mail-in ballots like signature verification. It's just basic, everyday stuff that 85% of the American people support. They're not happy. Let's go ahead and play it over. I think it's MSNBC. Let's play this.
Yeah, and there's worry that what they're doing there is ultimately going to be pretextual, that they're going to use whatever they find or whatever they believe they're going to find in Georgia in order to cast doubt on the 26 election, maybe the 28 election, and then use that as a justification to do more. And David, you're thinking about what that more could look like. Explain.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that more could be. So, for example, you've seen Steve Bannon talk about putting ICE out there around polling places. You've seen Trump talking about nationalizing elections in subsets of America and blue subsets of America. You've seen Senator Tuberville talk about seizing voting machines. So you've got things on the front end, which would be voter suppression, such as flooding a blue city in a contested district with ICE so that a lot of Americans who are, Hispanic or Black, depending on the targeted community, would feel very reluctant to go out in public lest they experience what so many people have experienced in Minneapolis and other cities. And you also have situations where You could have, after voting, for example, you've had a lot of situations where there's been sort of a red surge from the in-person voting and then a blue shift as a lot of the mail-in ballots come in, where you would see an effort to try to cut off the count while the Republicans are still ahead, for example. The list of ways to interfere with election is really only limited by your creativity. But what we're seeing is Trump already trying to cast doubt on any outcome that is any outcome that's democratic, already laying the predicate for interference. And I think Trump is more backwards focused. He wants to be vindicated in 2020. I don't think he cares so much about any given member of Congress or the Senate. But MAGA is very focused going forward on holding on to power, on retaining power, because they've been governing as if they're never going to face accountability for what they've done. So it's very much in their interest to try to maintain permanent power or power for the foreseeable future. And as of now, you're seeing a lot of rhetoric that is very concerning about their intentions for the election. When I use MAGA very specifically, not as a synonym for Republicans more broadly, I think there's still an awful lot of what you would call normie Republicans. And I use the term normie as a compliment, by the way, what you would call normie Republicans who don't like a lot of this stuff. But when you're talking about the core, you're talking about sort of the Stephen Miller side of the world, the Steve Bannon side of the world, people who are well and truly authoritarian in their outlook. These are individuals who are governing as if the Constitution, Miller is governing as if the Constitution doesn't exist. Bannon is engaging in political activism as if he wants the Constitution to essentially be a dead letter so that they can crush the left. They can end immigration, they can engage in mass deportation and dramatically limit immigration coming into the country. So you're seeing a lot of authoritarianism out of MAGA, out of the core element of sort of the hard new right in the United States. And they are not all that committed to the Constitution. They're not all that committed to democracy. They are very, very committed to power. And that is what's so alarming about the midterms. You've got a president obsessed with mythical voter fraud. You have a MAGA coalition that is very committed to gaining and retaining power at any cost, that's inflicting punitive authoritarian measures on the country. That is a recipe for trouble in November, and it should raise an alarm for all of us now.
Okay. This is what you hear. The reason we play these clips for you is this is what is all day long on CNN and MSNBC. It's in the pages of the much shrunken Langley Bugle, formerly known as the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, just over and over and over again. Let's just have a reset here. The 2020 election was stolen. The evidence is out there. That's why in Georgia, the FBI finally, after being in court for 5 years, went and seized the ballot. They're apoplectic about that. Kash Patel and the FBI is doing a criminal investigation, and Tulsi Gabbard and the folks at DNI and DHS and others are going through and sorting out how the election was stolen, what the evidence shows about that. Right now on Capitol Hill, they're putting together, kind of combining various House measures that have been around, and that should be, I think, out of rules tomorrow, is my understanding, to try to move the bill this week. And it's very basic. You have to have an ID to vote, a government ID to vote. It's really you. We're going to have clean voter rolls. You're not going to have millions and millions and millions of people on there that either don't live in the locale or nobody knows who they are, because this is the predicate of how they steal it with mail-in ballots. So that's all going to get cleaned up. And the mail-in ballots are going to have cutoff times. Like they had cutoff times in Georgia, and they just waived it. And they're also going to have signature verification. In Pennsylvania, they had two signature verifications on two envelopes. So what they do, they open the envelopes up and just throw them away. They stole the 2020 election, and we will never, as a movement, as patriots, allow that to happen again. We know every different way they did it. I haven't even brought up the machines, but we know every different way they've done it. And yes, there are going to be corrective actions that are going to be taken. And it's both backward looking to get to the bottom of the 2020 election and how it was stolen, where it was stolen, and who's accountable for that. And you're going to be held accountable. You just can't steal a presidential election, a federal election, and destroy this country like you have. Look at all the folks, $170 billion of which we don't have. $170 billion for DHS to set up the apparatus, the logistics for mass deportations. And look what happens is sanctuary cities in California, in Illinois, in Minnesota, in New York, Mondami, just doubles and triples down up in your grill that no, we're a sanctuary city. So no, you've put the country through hell. We still have years that we have to focus and make sure that we got our sovereignty and the individual citizens are treated with respect. The best way you can treat them with respect is get out the foreign invaders and cut them off from any penny of government money. And if that upsets you, then it's going to have to upset you. If you're going to have Super Bowl halftime shows and be up in our face with Hispanic language, oh, that's fine and good. We know Hispanic citizens don't want their health care destroyed, don't want their schools destroyed, don't want their communities destroyed, don't want the violence and the drugs and everything that brings. They have our backs on this. We proved that in 2024, and we're going to prove it again in November this year. Is it a tough slog? It will be a tough slog. But as we had Dr. Navarro on here this morning, you see the green shoots of a turned around economy from the destruction that Biden left President Trump. So now it's time to get in harness and hunker down, and it's going to be tough. They are on a roll right now, as particularly with the DSA ground game. But that's easily overcome, and it's going to be overcome, and it has to be overcome. But this continual crying on the left that, oh, Trump's an authoritarian, no. He's President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief, and the Chief Law Enforcement Officer and Chief Magistrate under his Article 2 powers, and we're going to make sure that we have his back and grind through this. It's going to be very, very tough, but not as tough as times we've seen before, like January, February, March, April of 2021, when the office was stolen. He was driven from Washington, D.C. Okay, we're going to play another number one hit. We've got this is Somalia Waltz. We haven't played this yet on War Room. A controversial song and quite funny. Let's go ahead. Do we have it? Let's go ahead and play it. The Somalia Waltz.
In Mogadishu, Minnesota, you might have heard there's quite a load of money missing, new millionaires, all the kids are leering in fake daycares. The Somali waltz, the Somali waltz, it's the same old song. The Somali waltz is sad but true, that's screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz. Play your cards right, you could be governor, and if you need a green card, marry your brother with liberal judges on the take. There's no fear of justice while they shimmy and they shake. The Somali waltz, the Somali waltz, it's the same old song. The Somali waltz is sad but true, that's screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz. The Somali waltz, the Somali waltz, it's the same old song, and it's going strong. It's sad but true, that's screwing you, dancing to the Somali waltz. And coming soon to a state near you, new name, same tune, the Somali waltz.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead, scan the QR code now. Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with your Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Did you ever wonder what truly happened in the COVID-19 pandemic and whether Anthony Fauci would ever be held accountable? I think we all have. Filmmaker Jenner First has an upcoming documentary that searches for truth, transparency, and accountability called Thank You, Dr. Fauci.
Governments lie.
Anthony Fauci put everyone on the planet at risk without their consent.
It's beyond suspicious.
Research caused a pandemic, killed 20 million, and cost $25 trillion. Fauci would prefer a lie.
Public trust, national health, and global security are at stake as this documentary digs through thousands of pages of documents and interviews with former officials and whistleblowers in the most controversial narrative of our time that may also be one of the largest cover-ups in modern public health history.
There was a cover-up.
Why would he trade the Chinese the most advanced biotechnology in the world?
He's a spy.
It's insane.
I don't think this is going to be foolproof. Things are going to slip through.
Fauci knew and lied repeatedly.
Rather than being a partisan hit piece, Thank You, Dr. Fauci is an honest look at the origins of COVID-19 and a potential bioarms race with China. It streams exclusively on Angel Studios app and site starting on October 23rd. And all you need to do is go to angel.com/rev to stream it. So be ready to watch, question, and share as the quest for truth and accountability continues.
From Muskegon, Michigan. Why do you love Rev?
Because we've become family.
Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Bobby Kennedy and his team are trying to do as good a job as possible in implementing President Trump's the Make America Healthy Again agenda over there at HHS. They're trying to break the back of Big Pharma and Big Pharma's control over you, particularly on things like vaccines. Break the grip of the pharmaceutical distribution industry, both the middlemen and the big pharmacies. Allfamilypharmacy.com was created for this, to give you medical freedom, to let you have your consent. Right now, they have medical personnel on standby. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com, promo code Bannon10, you get 10% off. Also, you get to meet the team that's put this together. Remember, they've cut the cost structure dramatically in pharmaceutical distribution, and they pass some of that along to you. So make sure you go to allfamilypharmacy.com, promo code Bannon10 to get 10% off. Great new company. Fantastic. I know the people that have tried it love it. You guys have come back to us, and it's been pretty extraordinary. Mike Lindell, you're running for governor. You already got Amy Klobuchar out of the Senate into the race. You're leading by one in this official poll, not a straw poll. The official poll that came out, you're up by one in a dead heat with somebody that's had decades and decades of being a politician. You are not. What do you got for us on the political side? And then the audience wants to know, what's the deal today?
Well, we just had two more actually drop out. Dr. Jensen dropped out, and he's going to run for state auditor now. So they're dropping off, Steve, one after another. And you guys, we just did a great event down here in Mar-a-Lago. And if you guys can get on board, it's MikeLindellGov.com. We need your support. We're going after Amy Klobuchar to win Minnesota. We're going now. We're going right into our marketing event that we're going to be, our marketing platform that we're going to use. You guys will find out about that next week. It's an amazing way to win this election with our great marketing we're going to do with your help. It's MikeLindellGov.com. And then I wanted to get on here. This is a special time of year when two sales collide. This is our second annual Mega 2 says, Mega sale. And you guys, this is, there it is. And what I want to take note of, the lowest price on our famous 6-piece towel sets, towels that actually work, they actually dry you, $34.98 for a 6-pack of those. All the Giza Dream Sheet just came in 3 days ago. All your sizes and colors, everybody, get on that now as low as $29.98 a set. And then we have the MyPillow mattress toppers that we had on for sale before. We're going to lead them on. Free shipping on your entire order. You guys go to mypillow.com/war room. There you're going to see the two sales colliding. There's our beds. We're leaving the beds on sale, the mattresses made in the USA, the technology that gives you the best sleep ever, but the free shipping. We're extending that. Promo code War Room, you guys, free shipping. You know that's expensive. Right to your front door for those big ticket items. 6-month money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty on all our products. And there you see we have over 200 products right now on sale. The Made in America socks. I mean, you have, and there's the My Store. You guys don't forget, you can go to mystore.com, use that promo code War Room too. That's over 1,000 entrepreneurs and their products. And so you guys, today's the day to do it. One of the last days here for the free shipping on your entire order. 800-873-1062. Operators are standing by with the promo code War Room. They love talking to the War Room posse. You guys have gave us the best support of any platform we've had. And I want to thank all of you because my employees thank you because it's a big win-win. As you support them, I'm able to put 100% in to win this governor of Minnesota and help save Minnesota. That's what we need right now at the tip of the spear. And so promo code War Room, everybody. And Steve, I can't thank you enough for all the support that you've given us and the War Room posse.
Mike, we're proud to give you the support at the company. You've made us all proud by jumping in. Nothing's harder today than elective politics, right? They're there to tear you apart. You've done such a magnificent job. Of course, they already tore you apart for years before that, ever since you came out and talked about stolen elections. And we had clips today on the show that shows that they're going crazy about this. As we close in on Georgia, as we say, hey, we are going to send ICE in. We're never going to have illegal aliens voting in mass again. What's the first thing? We're about to start War Room, Texas. Since we've gotten here, and even before when we first started, just overwhelming people talking about Sharia law. They're talking about this Islamic invasion of Texas. What's the first action you're doing as governor of Minnesota after you win?
Absolutely banning Sharia law, everybody. Minnesota, we had a problem there long before Texas. I've said it before, we're the Trojan horse of this horrible thing of them coming in here and taking over our country and putting in Sharia law. This goes back almost 2 decades, but I've been dealing with it. All the businesses in Minnesota where they've come in and they want to get this push Sharia law on us, where the breaks that they have, and they shut down our assembly lines and our lines, and you guys, this is horrible. You could end up like other countries overseas where they've completely taken over, and we're one nation under God, and that God is Jesus Christ. And so that's one of the first thing I'm going to do: ban Sharia law, bring back the Minnesota flag, and also, which by the way is basically a Somalian flag now that they turned it into, and also we have a statue in our capital that the governor put in there, a satanic statue, and that's going to go first day too. This is disgusting what they're doing. This is a battle of good and evil of biblical proportions. It has been. And this is the tip of the spear, you guys. When we have one chance, the best time to be alive. This is critical. The midterm elections are the most critical elections ever, and then also to stop Sharia law in this country. All these mosques that are coming up everywhere. I think, and we've got to stop it now. And put these people, save our country and save America.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow morning, Mike. Appreciate you. Mike Lindell, running for governor of Minnesota, leading in a poll that just came out in the Republican primary. Kid Rock's going to take us out today. I want to thank Real America Music. It's been amazing. So many of these #1 songs because this audience supports it. War Room, Texas is next. We're going to start with a interview on a new poll that's out about Attorney General Ken Paxton versus John Cornyn. We'll start with Ken Paxson, but we have a quite fascinating guest, someone who converted from Islam to Christianity. He's got a horror story to talk to you about. All next in War Room, Texas. Be back in a moment.
At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a